It's a story I've had in my head for a long time that it was very driven to tell. I think it's something that people will find compelling and will be able to relate to it. You know, after a search of about 4 to 5 months, we picked our main cast, Alan, Howard, and Joseph. It's Kristopher Higgins playing Alan, Eddie Hassell playing Howard, and Lorenzo Henrie playing Joseph.
What I think the viewers are going to really like is the fact that we got 3 guys, I think, at the right time, at the right place, and they're going to come out of this film being superstars.
But that was always our casting strategy, was to go for people that were going to be more discoveries and were more up and coming. People were really responding to the material right from the script stage. That gave me a lot of confidence that people, whether they're in LA or New York or South Carolina, were having a lot of respect for the project.
And also, they recognized what this film was, the story that's in this film. They recognized the cinematography was here, the locations that were here.
One of the approaches that I had with them as actors is I wanted to kind of free them up to just kind of be these parts and not have to worry too much about the performing aspect of it. And we started that initially by having them stay in the same place. We rented a townhouse for them out on Folly Beach, which is where we were shooting a good bit anyway.
Brad had an idea that they should all live together, and so they got a townhouse down in Folly Beach, and they kind of immediately bonded.
And living out on Folly is really cool. I'm tempted to go, deeper or farther, or kind of like step out of my little comfort zone.
I've shot movies for a month, like by myself, and it's so sad in a hotel room just by myself. So it's like, it's really nice to be living with 2 castmates, and I've become really good friends with them.
And so I think that created a lot of chemistry and created a lot of trust between them. So it became really believable that these 3 guys were very good friends, and that component of it's very important to the story.
I want to go to that model, but I was told not.
Lorenzo played the role of Joseph, and Joseph is a very quiet, shy, vulnerable, timid young man. Throughout our shoot, cast and crew, it really becomes tight-knit and, family-like. But Lorenzo had to sort of distance himself from that camaraderie, really, in order to maximize his performance in the role of Joseph.
I mean, Joseph is a really hard part. The part of Joseph, there's very little dialogue. He carries the whole story, but it's a very internal carry.
If I sort of go through this depression myself and I become jail-locked in my mind, but the only saving grace that I have is my artistic creativity and my writing ability and this talent that sets me free. He goes through this journey and becomes a man, becomes a warrior, and starts to look at the positive aspects of life.
The challenge I gave to Lorenzo from the very beginning when he was first cast was to kind of go into that dark place. Because this whole movie is about this character going from this dark place and finding the light, kind of emerging from this hole.
Lorenzo is just one of the most fascinating young men I think I've met in a long time. I mean, he comes to this role with just a tremendous sense of spirituality.
Joseph is based a lot off of Brad, and it's been very personal and intimate. I've been going through the same revelations in my personal life, and of becoming a man.
Full on moving around in the car. Yeah.
Chris Higgins is a guy where he's this, very good-looking young guy, but yet he's got this really toughness to him.
These guys are Southern brawlers. They have personalities, they have charisma, they have strength, and I don't have any of that. Joseph doesn't have any of that.
A lot of the qualities in Joseph I see within myself. I'm like the big brother. I'm always testing him and putting him through challenges.
So he naturally seemed to play the big brother type of role in real life as Chris to Lorenzo and Eddie.
Eddie is a trip. Eddie definitely fits this part of Howard perfectly. The part of Howard is a little bit of comic relief, but he's definitely a character. And Eddie brought that to the table.
Howard's a happy-go-lucky, sort of, fly by the seat of his pants, buddy to Alan particularly.
But this is a role where Eddie also, we could see a lot about Eddie and his real acting capabilities. And he came through great.
Once they got here, they had a really firm idea who these characters were. Part of my job as a director was to kind of establish that through conversations before the shoot, and then to kind of help watch that develop during the shoot.